Andrew Brown from AAP. Thanks so much for your speech, Minister. We've seen in recent years countless local, rural and regional papers have to force to close due to declining revenue and ever-increasing costs. Often many of these papers are the only source of news in that particular community. And while there have been one-off grants that the government has put through for printing costs, what else do you plan to do to help these rural and regional papers not only survive, but to thrive in a media environment? And when would we expect to see some sort of government policy strategy surrounding this?
Thank you very much for your question. And you highlight one of the key objectives of Australia's media landscape, which is to support localism and diversity in our media. It has been a long time that these experiences and these pressures on so many regional and outer metropolitan publications has existed. And exactly as you say, this government has undertaken a number of interventions, including assisting with immediate cash flow issues that were very well received by the sector as a whole, but also in supporting hyperlocal news content and helping them to adapt has also been an important area of funding. I expect to be announcing in the near future our NewsMap, our News Media Assistance Program. And that is based on research that has been informed by the ACMA's work around diversity and areas where for so many years we did not understand where these news deserts existed or where potential ones were emerging. So we will have more to say shortly in terms of our broader media reform program. But I also acknowledge that this is critical for democracy in some of these areas, where often it is the one local publication that is really carrying the weight of supporting that diversity. We want to do everything we can as a government to enable that to thrive, but we need to do so in a measured way that is long-term as well. We've seen interventions in past years under previous governments which purported to set up the media industry for decades to come. But we know with the challenges of digitisation and the rise of the platforms that this has placed the sector under increasing stress. So I expect to make announcements in the near future, but I thank you very much for bringing to the attention, everyone's attention to this important issue of localism, especially in regional areas.
Jack Quayle.
Jack Quayle from the News Corp Wire. Minister, thank you very much for your address. My question goes to the future of the Sky Muster program. I mean, more than $650 million has been sunk into the program now, but I mean, it's increasingly uncompetitive to Elon Musk's Starlink. It's shedding customers there. We're seeing that as well, that users are suffering from very low speeds too. So I guess my question is, what do you see as the future of the program? Is the government going to continue sinking money into what is ageing infrastructure now?
Thank you very much for your question. It's actually really pertinent to consider the other interventions the government is making to ensure that rural and regional Australians in particular have access to the highest quality broadband services. The Albanese government has been investing in the NBN across all its technologies, upgrading copper to fibre, upgrading our fixed line network, but also investing in Sky Muster. What we have been able to do over this past year with NBN's investments in this area is enabled the first uncapped, unmetered product for Sky Muster. That resulted from a trial of a number of consumers who actually found that it significantly improved their services. I also want to talk about the virtuous cycle here when it comes to that technology. By fibring up more areas, we can move more customers off the fixed line network, and we can move more customers off the satellite network and in turn upgrade their technologies to something that may be more suitable for them. But in terms of the LEOsats, the low Earth orbit satellites, I established a LEOsat working group with industry so that we better understand where these challenges are and how they are serving consumers' needs. I also announced recently a review of the universal service obligation. not to question whether or not it needed to be updated to be fit for purpose, but to look at specific solutions and new initiatives that could be put in place. And the role of LEO sats will certainly form part of that consideration. I think it's important to recognise that the Sky Muster service provided by NBN Co provides an important, affordable backstop for many rural and regional customers. And of course, the rise of LEO sats over recent years has enabled some customers for whom this is well suited for them to take advantage of that technology. But at the same time, NBN Co has this obligation to provide its services to Australians. We will take the lessons from not only the LEOsat working group, but as these satellites near end of life, decisions will need to be made about their future. But you can rest assured that they will be very well informed, not only by technological developments as they exist at any point in time, but above all else, what is in the long-term interests of consumers to have reliable broadband irrespective of where they live or work.
Thank you.